What's up, guys? I drove here from Connecticut. I blew a stop sign on the way here. I mean, technically he was a crossing guard, but boy, would he not yield, let me tell you. Am I right, ladies? Are you coming or going? I had places to be. I went out the other day. It was a little warmer not too long ago. I went out and got some shaved ice. You guys fuck with the shaved ice? I'm lactose intolerant, so that's my substitute, the shaved ice. Anyone else fuck with the shaved? Got the scrambled ice, unlimited flavors, right? Yeah. I went out, got myself some. You're not gonna believe it. I still got a hair in my mouth. Right? They said it was shaved. I mean, are you serious? Like, okay. Just couldn't believe it. Nowhere safe. Why is that so funny? I don't know. I just keep doing it. I don't know. I was out back behind a Domino's making out with this human the other day, and things were going good. I mean, we were going good momentum, right? We were sliding into first base. Well, you can't do that, right? You've got to run really fast past first base. You hop over. I don't know. We were using tongue, all right? Sports analogies aside, we were using some good old tongue, and it was good, right? It was like I said, it was nice. And then they started doing this weird thing. They started kissing around the side of my face, and they put my whole ear in their mouth. All right, is that just a normal Friday out here in Boston? What the fuck? Y'all are like, all right, and? Like, no, that was the and, right? I was like, wrong hole, like, get out of there. What are you doing? We didn't plan that. That is not on the itinerary. So I was like, but I didn't want to lose that momentum. Like I said, things were going good. I was like, well, when in Rome, maybe that's what she wanted me to do. So, I went. So I was like, all right, I'll make my way downtown. I guess that'd be downtown, around the corner or whatever. I'd do the old thing. And while I was going over there, I figured, maybe I'll show her a couple moves, right? Flick the old earlobe, do a couple ABCs. Because we all know that earlobe is cousins to the devil's doorbell. So, or doorknob, I'm inclusive, right? Whatever devil genitalia you're into. But, before I could even get there, I get the old ear in my mouth, and I realize ears have that same texture as calamari. Are we? Yeah, right. That's what I was like. Oh God, this is not, and not the good, fine cuisine. I'm talking about like you show up to the last 30 minutes of the buffet. Like you're scraping the tin with that big old spoon. It's like crispy and moist at the same time, but you get what you pay for, like that kind of. Calamari, but I didn't want to, I was like, I'll keep it silly. We were at the Domino's. I had some marinara sauce left over. So I was like, I'll offer this up. But I didn't say any of that calamari stuff out loud. So she just thought that my next move was like, hey, here's some sauce. And that offended her so much. She left. She got out of the car, which is crazy because I drove her there. So I don't understand where she was going, but she left. And it turns out, though, prior to that, like 2 weeks before that, her whole family had actually fallen into a giant vat of boiling marinara sauce and died. So I didn't know that. She didn't include that in her Tinder profile. Why did we even go to Domino's? Like, why? Doesn't make any sense. She didn't tell me that. Some people don't like that supervillain ending. Until I tell them the cops showed up and she was the number one suspect. Am I? Right? They caught her red-handed because of the sauce. You get it. All right. Speaking of marinara sauce, I went out recently, treat myself a little pasta meal, and the cheese guy came over. Like I said earlier, I am lactose intolerant, but I was off the next day, so I was like, bring it on, So fucking grind that cheese. So we got through a couple blocks of cheese, and he left, and I started enjoying my lovely meal, and you're not gonna believe it, I still got a hair in my mouth. He said it was shaved, Parm. Is anywhere safe? False advertising, I don't know. No, it is silly. I do have this weird bad luck with finding hair in my food. It's always happened since I was a kid. It's this weird curse that I have. The first time I remember it happening, I was with my dad. We had went out to go get a sandwich. Each of us were getting a sandwich. We weren't like Lady and the Tramping one sandwich. I don't know why you might have thought that, but just in case, we were both getting sandwiched together individually. And I took the first bite, and I got a hair in my mouth, and I was like, what do I do, you know? And the only thing my dad said was like, I hope it's not a short and curly hair, right? Maybe you're ahead of me. I had no idea what he was talking about until I grew up to realize my dad hates Jews. Isn't that weird? Like a blonde hair would have made it better, right, ma'am? I don't know. That's why I dye my hair blonde now, to win back his love. He blocked me on Instagram, so. I feel like that second line was just rude. Like you realized my dad doesn't love me, or so. That was weird. All right, that one was for the mind readers. I just want to make sure, just a quick run through. Hell yeah. I used to ride a unicycle, which is probably pretty believable. Again, kind of rude, but okay. I also used to be in the Navy. Right, less believable. Both equally true. But I don't have any semen jokes. Calm down. I do have a couple about cum. Anybody? Anyone want a good cum joke? Maybe later. Okay. Yeah, I used to ride a unicycle, and it was fun. It was cool, but people always come up like locked in with a joke question. Like already, they'd see me. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, did you get that half off at the bike store?" And right, I get it. You know, it's one tire. You know, no handlebars. Right, mine didn't have a seat, which made for a better grip, really. Kind of makes me a bicycle. All right. Okay, I don't know. So when you ejaculate onto the chest of your partner, it's called a pearl necklace. This is just a term in the biz. I didn't make that up. But what I like about it is now, with the power of science, you can send in your sperm to some scientist, and he'll send it back as a little pearl, or a bunch of them, I guess. It depends on how big your load is. I don't know. But that's crazy. You know what that means, right? It's come full circle, you guys. We're fucking doing it. All right, I don't know. I think it's a waste. I honestly don't turn to little pearls, right? Turn them little marbles, because then I can play with my kids. You know what I mean? Like, all right. That's my cum joke. Speaking of sticky substances, I bought a big old tub of glue the other day, and I noticed on the side of it, it said like cruelty-free, which is cool, whatever, you know, like on the side of a tuna can or something, that's fine. But like on glue, like you don't know what kind of arts and crafts, like what kind of promiscuous things I'm gonna do. Promiscuous probably isn't the right. That sounds sexual. I would never have sex with glue. Obviously, it's an adhesive. I would never stick any body part into this tub of glue with enough speed and friction that it causes like a hard casing to form around it, but not fast enough before it seals the head shut, so now I have to pour nail polish remover all over it, so I don't have to explain this tale of arts and crafts to the front desk nurse lady at the ER, right? I mean, fool me once, shame on glue, but I would, you know. Also, jacking off with glue, talk about beating a dead horse, am I right? Like that would just be... I would never. All right, one more sticky liquid joke, I promise. This one, actually, you guys might know. I read about this recently. I like to, read about my travels. This is a close to home little thing. Have you guys heard of the Great Boston Molasses Flood? Yeah. You don't. It's a tragedy. Don't woo. But all right. Yeah. But so if you haven't heard of it, it sounds like pretty unanimous. But just in case, if you haven't heard, it was a flood in Boston, made of molasses, and then some people were like, great, or something. I don't know that part. But what I like was, like, first of all, it's molasses, it's not water, right? So you can kind of, like, jog. You have your, like, French toast stick behind you, like you're snacking on the go, you know? And a few people did die, like I mentioned, but some people were just captured for a little bit, like the mosquito on Jurassic Park, just, like, for a little while. But what I like is after they gathered the numbers, only 3 people were molested. All right, that's been the bittersweet end, you guys. Have a great night. I've been Patrick McKinstry.
Give it up for Pat McKinstry, everybody!